International Issue Speech, Ainsley Boardman. Have you ever imagined how intense the atmosphere is at the World Cup? Crowds cheering, a ball to be kicked, goals to be scored, and everyone is in the hope of winning the most desirable World Cup. The one event in the whole world that brings people together like this is the FIFA World Cup. People from all nations, of all shapes and sizes, bringing people of all walks of life, come together and cheer on their nation. Here's a picture of many of the fans that you would witness at a World Cup event. In an article by Farzad Mashoud called World Cup Shows That Soccer Brings People Together, published by the Daily Bruin of UCLA in 2010, says the World Cup brings together not only 11 players on one team, not just a country in support of their side, not just 32 nations, not just hundreds of thousands of screaming fans. The World Cup brings the world together. The World Cup has many benefactors, but to everything good, there is also bad. Many of you have heard that the Americans that went to Brazil for the World Cup are now at risk of coming home with a rare virus called Chikungunya or Chick-V. Today, we will look at what Chick-V really is, what the symptoms of Chick-V are, who has been affected by Chick-V, and what we can do to prevent Chick-V from spreading in America. So, you're probably wondering, what is Chick-V, or Chikungunya? According to Travelers Health, published in 2013 by Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Chikungunya is an illness caused by a virus that is spread through a bite of an infected mosquito. Travelers who go to Asian, Caribbean, and African countries are at risk of getting chikungunya. The mosquito that carries chikungunya normally bites both day and night, both indoors and outdoors, and is normally living around urban areas. Since the World Cup is in an urban area, this puts many people at risk for a very painful virus. Also, since the World Cup is inside an enclosed stadium and the mosquitoes can bite indoors and outdoors, this prevents people from getting away from these pesky mosquitoes. Here's a picture of a mosquito that might be carrying chikungunya. Next, let's look at the symptoms of chikungunya. The Chick-V virus resembles dengue fever and is spread by the bite of an infected mosquito. Along with the horrible bite, there are some pretty painful symptoms. Here I've included a circle of symptoms to help you remember them a little bit easier. A website called Health Plus 24 published an article called Chikungunya in 2012, and it lists the symptoms as fever, headache, rash, muscle and joint pain, fatigue, and nausea. Some physical symptoms are reddening of the whites of your eyes, and you might notice some pain when looking into a light or sunlight. Also, in an article, First Case of Mosquito-borne Chikungunya in North Carolina, published by ABC Eyewitness News 11 in 2014, confirms that symptoms of chikungunya usually appear 3 to 7 days after the initial bite, but sometimes joint pain can last up to months after the bite. This is definitely a mosquito bite that you will want to be on the lookout for, because if this pain can be avoided at all costs, it would be better for your body. Next, let's look at the Americans that were a little bit less fortunate. So how many Americans have actually been affected? This number can come down to how many Americans bought tickets to the World Cup. Here's a picture of the tickets that you would see Americans holding at the World Cup. According to the article, U.S. World Cup fans bought a ton of tickets, published by CBS in 2014, FIFA, soccer's global governing body, says about 200,000 tickets were sold in the United States, many through an online lottery system. This means that 200,000 Americans have been exposed to this virus. And in an article, Schumer confirmed World Cup fans returned to U.S. with rare virus, published by CBS New York. In 2014, Senator Schumer says, "The problem here is the World Cup gives the unfortunate opportunity for the virus to spread among people of all nations because we are all together during the World Cup." Here's a picture of Senator Schumer during a press conference, holding a picture of a mosquito that might be holding chikungunya. So really, the World Cup is acting as an incubator for the whole world to spread chikungunya more. This means that almost 200,000 Americans could possibly be harboring the virus inside their bodies right now. And we need to be aware of how to prevent this virus from spreading further in America. After hearing all this information, you're probably thinking, what can I do to prevent this from happening to me? Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is that they have yet to find a vaccine for this virus. But the good news is that there are many products out there that can help prevent the biting of mosquitoes and the pain that comes along with the virus of chikungunya. Products such as bug repellent and a fly swatter can help keep bugs away from your body. A doctor can prescribe medications such as pain medicine that can help with the symptoms such as pain and joint and muscle pain. So the moral of the story is just try not to get bitten by these mosquitoes. This is not a fatal infection, it's just a miserable infection, says Dr. William Schaffner of Vanderbilt's University Department of Preventive Medicine. He told this to CBS about 2 months ago. So, lather up with your repellent and get ready to smack some landing mosquitoes. In conclusion, if we all play our part in preventing ourselves from getting bit by these pesky mosquitoes, we will prevent the spread of the virus in America. The World Cup is an amazing time of fans going crazy, soccer, and countries coming together. With all this fun on the line, you wouldn't want to be wasting time getting bitten by a mosquito holding a virus. So beware of those pesky mosquitoes carrying chikungunya. After all, it's always fun being the opponent with the upper hand. You choose what you would rather be, the biter or the bitten. Okay, can you show the audience? And then